back into Space Infantry. I feel like it's been far too long. Finished our first mission, and I believe where I left off, I was trying to figure out what to do with the experience points that my first little squad earned. So let me show you what I've come up with. Let's start with the squad leader. I feel like he struggled the most in our first mission. And I would love to get his command up, but that's going to take 9 experience points. And man, I don't know if I want to wait that long leaving him at this base level. So I thought I would spend my first 3 experience points to get him the talent parry. All right. And parry says the unit can cause a reroll of a successful enemy melee attack. We get to draw a new random number for that enemy. All right. Only applies to melee. And I'm kind of thinking I'm going to be building a melee troop. I kind of like the hand-to-hand thing I've got going on with the shotgunner. So I think maybe this will make him a little more effective. It's something he can do without a command point. So I've decided to try giving him this talent. We'll see how that works for the squad leader. The next 2 here were Scarlet and my sniper. And I've decided for them, I'm just going to upgrade them from a base troop to a veteran, okay? And that also takes our 3 experience points. And what that gives them is a +1 modifier on their main skill, fire and melee, okay? Interestingly enough, in a campaign, when you go to recruit members for your team, you don't have to pay an extra cost for a veteran, okay? Normally, the sniper is only 30. If you take him as a veteran unit, he will cost you 40. Not so in a campaign, all right? So I'm gonna have to reprint these cards because I missed that. So Miss Scarlet will still count for 20, and our sniper, he'll only be a 30-point cost. But they were easy. I just decided just to flip them to the veteran status, all right? So that takes care of these 2. That's half of my initial squad. And the last 2 guys was good old Abraham and my shotgunner. And I got a great recommendation for my shotgunner to rename him Gunner from the Expendables, which I thought was absolutely perfect. I'll have to print him out as well. And what I did for Gunner was, again, I flipped him to a veteran unit. So now when he's doing his crazy double attack as a melee, he also gets a +1 modifier. Haha, and double damage. Wow, wow. Again, he's only supposed to be 30, so I'll have to reprint that out and fix it. But, whoo, Gunner, man. Gunner is the man. Okay, and Abraham. I debated long and hard about Abraham. And I'll have to change this. As you can see, I was going back and forth between tactician and this little range ability. Let me see if I can find it in here. And again, I was really looking for something that was going to help out my squad leader because he's having such a hard time generating command points. I was looking at some of the abilities that helped out the squad leader. And tactician, oh, I did get it right. Tactician says, in addition to the squad leader's modifier, remember our squad leader was never able to pull a command point, you can apply either a +1, -1 modifier to the range determination step. So before we start our battle, Abraham can employ his tactician's knowledge to give us that +1, -1 range automatically. This means we don't have to rely on our squad leader to generate a command point. It also means if our squad leader does manage to get a command point, we can save it for battle instead of having to burn it on range modifying. And the reason I'm so into this range modifying, remember, is that I appear to be going melee heavy. All right, I really want to be fighting hand to hand with my squad, and being able to modify how these battles take place, I think is going to be a real advantage. Okay, so that's what I ended up doing for my little squad here. Mostly flipped 3 of them up to a veteran unit, okay? But these two guys ended up with a new talent. So hopefully, let's see how that plays out in this next scenario and see if these talents make a difference or not. Ah, I see what you're asking though. Where is our little squad heading next? Mission 3. Pulled a random number, came up with a 3. Objective: your squad must destroy the base located on the new Phobos asteroid, recently taken by enemy forces. All right, so now we've gone from a sand planet dune battle to an asteroid space encounter. And there are a couple of special rules here that we're going to have especially for this map. The first time is whenever we reach a node marked with an A or a B, we need to resolve the encounter and pick a random number. Again, we're going to have the possibility of a blocked passage, all right? If we pull a 1 to 3, A is open. 4 to 5, B is open. 6, either are open. So there's a good chance we can climb one way just to find our path blocked and have to reverse backwards. Luck is not my forte. I'm more of a strategy girl, so we'll see how this plays out. In the second part, there are some nodes marked as 0G. All right, these are nodes that are way out in space, right? We're not on the asteroid at this point. We are floating in 0G. And every unit, except for the 0G team, will suffer a -1 modifier in every skill check because they have to wear these heavy-duty suits and they're not used to it. Okay? The 0G team, they train in these heavy-duty suits, so they're not going to be affected by this -1 modifier. To complete the mission, we must reach the engine node. All right? So we have 2 little specials happening, and we're trying to get up here in this corner. So let's take a look at the big map. So here's our map. Of course, we start way down here in this corner. We're trying to work our way up to the engines. And there are going to be 2 paths that we can take, all right? This first path, the A route, is going to have 3 0G checks, okay? And then, once we make it to the asteroid itself, we're going to need security, advance, computer, repair, demolitions, engineering. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 specialized skill checks with no repeats. Okay. This is my least favorite route, just because trying to get all of the specialists that we'll need to get through here is going to leave us really weak for our fighting squad. Okay. And we have all of these 0G checks to get through. I'm not liking the look of this route. But the other route, the B route, looks very nice. Only 1 0G check, and then an advance, and an advance, right? We got those covered. The only specialists we need, computer twice, demolitions twice, repair and engineering, okay? So we have some similar specialist checks rather than a whole bunch of unique ones. I'm kind of liking the B route. Now remember, there's a chance this is going to be blocked. So if we put all of our eggs into this basket and we don't take the 0G team with us, we head down route B and it's blocked. Not only are we going to have to backtrack, we are then going to have to head up to A with all of these checks. And our team is going to be built for these checks. So it's going to come down to this random number pull. So the question becomes, how do we want to build our team? Should I try and design something very average that has a decent chance of getting through both ways and just assume I'm going to pull a block and have to backtrack? Or do I risk it, put all of my eggs into one route, and hope and pray when we hit it, it's unobstructed? I I'm torn. I'm torn because I know my luck on pulling those random numbers. I'm more of a strategy girl than relying on luck. So I'm really hesitant to leave behind my zero gravity team and just hope for the best. I think I might play it cautious and build a sort of general assault team instead of trying to put all my eggs into this basket. But let's take a look at the specialists and let's take a look at the team members we might want to enlist for this particular scenario. All right, so these are the guys and gals I've narrowed it down to. Obviously, we need our squad leader, but he doesn't cost us any points. He comes for free, so he's in for all he's worth. And now things get interesting, okay? Let's take a look first at this 0G team. There are 2 of them, and they're relatively cheap. They just cost 20 points to recruit. If we hit these nodes, they have a really nice, what would you call these, skill numbers of 3. So 2, 3, 3, we probably will be able to get through there pretty quickly because they're not going to get a -1 modifier, right? So they're going to be able to move us through here very quickly. And they're decent fighters, okay? Fire 4, melee 3. And remember, I'm trying to build a squad that's hand-to-hand. So I'm tempted to take both of these guys. If I end up going route B with only one of these needed, this is going to be overkill, right? It is a 4. So one of these guys, if I build just a team with only one 0G unit, we're going to be stuck at this start block for a while we gather enough successes. The good news is, remember, there's no event checks at the start block. So no baddies are going to sneak up and get us as we stand here waiting to generate this success of 4. All we're going to be doing is losing time. And remember, if I waste a bunch of time here and hit route B and it's obstructed, I then have to backtrack and with only one 0G unit make it through all of these checks. And waiting here and waiting here and waiting here will trigger an enemy eventually. So if I only take one of these guys, I'm kind of committing myself to this route and this route only, and if this is locked, we're pretty much doomed. So if I'm going to play cautious, I'm going to take both of these guys, all right? Overkill if this is open, but it's going to save my butt if we end up having to go a route. 40 points, though. 40 points, okay? So let's put them over here for now, because that's what I'm kind of thinking about doing, okay? Then we have these guys. Man, I would love to take good old Gunner with me, but I hesitate. I hesitate because Gunner is fully upgraded, okay? He has a talent and he's been upgraded to a veteran unit. He is, for now, pretty much tapped out. I'm gonna have to save up a lot of experience to upgrade him, all right? But he's crazy powerful. Now last turn, last scenario, I really missed my CC unit because, sorry, that's the wrong side, he is the only guy out there with armor. He is the only guy with armor. And that means without him, every hit is coming through, right? Every hit's coming through. So I would love to take him with me, not only because he has armor, but because he has not been upgraded at all. He doesn't have a talent, he hasn't been up to a veteran status yet, and I'm thinking that I'm gonna really be using him in later scenarios. So my gut instinct right now is to leave Gunner behind as he's fully trained up. He's ready to go. I mean, if I took him, we would power through this, no problem. But I'm tempted to take the CC unit, all right? Much weaker, but just as sort of a training mission, just so I can upgrade him for later or give him even a talent, which is probably what I would want to do. I don't want to wait too long, right? Because these missions get harder. If I wait too long and take him stripped down base like this, I'm afraid he's going to die. So I'm tempted it'll weaken me for this mission, but it might strengthen me in the long run. That's already 50 points. That's almost half of my 110 that I'm allowed to take. And so the last guy I was thinking was good old Abraham. 2 reasons. Range determination. I am really betting on all of these guys right now are hand to hand to hand. That's their strength. So I really want to stay out of range combat. Good old Abraham's going to get me that. And good old Abraham needs to get upgraded to a veteran status. Okay. Remember, he's also just 20, so he's relatively cheap. Okay. So that's going to put me up at, man, 70. 70. So you see what happens. Gunner, he's going to cost me, that should be a 30. So he would round me off to 100 points, which means I could only take 1 specialist with me. And that's not going to happen. I need more than 1 specialist, all right? So if I take Gunner out of it, 2, 4, 6, 9. I've got 90 left. 2, 4, 6, 9. 90 left. What to do with them? Well, let's see what we can do with that for specialists. Because there's 4 of them, of course, that I would like to take. And right now with my squad build, I can only afford 2. Okay? Oops, I probably should have left them over here. So let's take a look again at what's required for these different paths. Okay, so I got my 0Gs covered. Not worried. Got the advanced covered. Computer 1. Okay, so that's nothing. I'm not too worried about making this check. But we need somebody who does computers. Okay, so these 3. They all do computers. Demolitions. There's only 1 guy who does demolitions. Okay, and remember, no matter which path we take, we're going to hit a demolitions check. We're also going to have some engineering with us, right? Because this is the win condition, and there's only 1 guy who has engineering. The engineer. So what does that mean if we take them? Well, what that means is for, out of the way here, the security check. Again, this A route is killing me. If we end up having to go A and we hit the security check, we only have, the demolitionist can help us, but he has to pull 5 action points to do it. Blah, that's horrible. That's horrible. So we could really get bogged down here. Okay. Computer here, we will only have 1 guy on computer. He's going to have to generate 3 action points. So we might stall out a little bit here as well. Computer 1 will be fine. Repair 3. Okay, this is also going to be a stall point. Both of these guys have repair, but they're 5. 5 action points. And, oh, I didn't even notice. Gravity systems are not operative here. Ooh. So I'm thinking that means they will also suffer a -1 AP to their skill check. Wow. So this node is going to be tough with only a repair of 5. So would we rather take the technician? He's got a high repair, and he has computer, and he has security. So if I switch over to the technician, I'm either going to lose demolitions, where there are 2 nodes, or engineering. And there is only 1 engineering check. I could save my info packs, right? I have to save 2 info packs to make this to make this engineering 3 check. That's a lot of info packs to save. Decisions. So I like the demolitionist. I think I'm definitely going to take him because there are 2 demo nodes. And I'm going to try and maybe hedge my bets to come this way. All right, I'm going to hedge my bets to come this way. So I think I'm going to take my demolitionist. And it now comes down to security 3 with that 0G. Security 3. Which one? Technician or engineer? See, this is where it gets so darn tough. Because if I could just take them both. One or the other. I think I might take the engineer only because I gotta get there to win, right? Gotta get there to win. So that means, darn it, that means we are losing repair. Okay. So this is gonna suck. So I need to remember to save at least one info pack for here. Okay, we need one info pack saved for here. Everywhere else, I think we're okay. Except for here. Oh yeah, if we get stuck here, we're gonna need an info pack as well. But we're gonna hope that we can make it to on the B route and it'll be unobstructed. And then we'll come up here and use our info pack here. If this is closed and we have to go around the long way, it's going to be ugly. So this is going to be our team. We're going to have 2 specialists for 20. We're going to have the good old Abraham squad leader combo. It's going to be 40. We're going to take both 0 team leaders. 60, 80. This is the last one. I really feel like we need to bring our CC unit to upgrade him, as much as I'd love to take Gunner with us and just plow down everything in our path. Let's try it with the CC unit. Let's try it. I feel like we need to upgrade him. So that's going to round our team out to 110. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to go ahead and just shoot this up real fast onto the YouTube so you guys can take a look at it. If you see any glaring mistakes in my logic, please point it out, because I think I'm ready to go. Oh, wait, there's one last thing. Who is the enemy? Right, okay, so I randomly pulled the Cybers, robotics, and this is interesting. These guys are interesting. Let's look at their special ability first. Okay, and they get improved armor. This is kind of a bummer. So when checking for armor saves, Cyber armor cancels the wound on a 3+. Normally, if you want to cancel a wound, it has to be a 4+. All right, so these guys are going to be a little bit tougher to hit. And some of them are going to have protection, which means we have to eliminate the drones before we can get through to the higher level baddies, all right? Guardians and behemoths have the protection symbol. So when we generate them, if we generate guardians with drones, we're going to have to kill both of these drones before we're even going to make a dent in the guardians. Same with the behemoths, but hopefully we won't see any class C. I think we're all class A on this particular map. Range table, 50-50. They're a little more tendency for fire, but hopefully with our parry skill, we will be able to avoid that. And the last thing we want to look at too is up here. I thought this tied in kind of well. On the asteroids themselves, there are also drones that we can hit. And I'm going to assume that any drone generated here is going to qualify for this little protection caveat. So some of these nodes, when we hit, it looks like mostly in the beginning, you have a chance, instead of looking at the A or B table, we'll see a little S, which will mean a drone hit. So we're going up against the Cybers, who have taken over this asteroid, and we need to get to engineering to retrieve some important data. All right, let me know what you think about my squad, and then we'll start playing.